Hey everyone, my name is Josh Booth, and I am here with the CoSIDA Academic All-America New Media Committee, and I have the pleasure of interviewing Samantha Tracey today. Samantha is a goalkeeper at Spring Arbor University in NAIA program, and she is being interviewed because she has been recently named the NAIA Women's Soccer CoSIDA Academic All-American of the Year. Samantha, how are you doing today?
I'm great. How are you?
I'm doing really good. Thank you for taking the time today. You've had what I view as a tremendous career at Spring Arbor. Goalkeeper, over 100 career saves in for sure 2 years of being the primary starter for Spring Arbor, and one of the top goalkeepers this past season, a third-team NAIA All-American. Your team was able to make the NAIA Final Four, the national semifinals for women's soccer. And it sounds like you're going to come back for another year, so we'll get into that too. But to start us off, why was Spring Arbor so successful this season? I think it was an overall record of 15-2-2. What clicked to make it all happen this year?
Sure. I think it boiled down to what happened last year. So last year we had a season that I think most programs would be really proud of. I mean, we played really well. We made it to the national tournament, but we just didn't perform up to our potential. And so our team kind of made a commitment since November of last season to say, that we're not doing that again and we're going to be better. And so throughout COVID, we really invested in each other and really invested in the program and worked our butts off every day. And I think that it boils down to the day-to-day commitment to each other, even throughout COVID, to text one another and work out as hard as we could. And I think that really made our season great this year.
For sure. And obviously, I don't know if in your conference you split it. In my conference, we split some in the fall, some in the spring. Talk a little bit maybe about that. For sure, playing some spring soccer when usually you'd be training. Just talk a little bit about how that went.
Yeah, for sure. It made our season long, but at least it kind of spread out the games a little bit. We played our conference season in the fall, and we had a great conference season. We finished second in the league in the regular season. And then in the conference tournament, we had a few injuries that we struggled with. But going into the spring, I think some things changed. I think we gained a lot of confidence. We were really excited to go to the national tournament in Alabama. And we really showed what we were made of out there. And I'm super proud of the girls for everything they did to get us to the Final Four.
Awesome. As a goalkeeper, you tend to be part of, the biggest moments of each match. Has there been a time that you look back on and you're like, that was an amazing save? Does something stick in your head?
Oh my goodness. There was a moment in the Southeastern game where the girls needed me to step up big. There was a breakaway and I saved it, pushed it out for a corner kick. But to be honest, a corner isn't the best case scenario. So I really needed them in the next moment to head it out of there. Because if you didn't know this, I'm 5'1". And so corner kicks aren't really my game. That's totally the defender's game. But trust me, they're saving my hind end way more than I'm saving theirs.
That's awesome. Secondary education and mathematics are kind of what you're studying towards. Talk a little bit about how you're able to be successful in the classroom while still being successful on the field. Like, how do you manage that time?
Sure. Our team takes huge steps to make academics a priority. We actually have probably 5 or 6 Spring Arbor tutors on our team. And we really just kind of make that our number one priority. We know soccer is super important, but we think that academics always comes first. And so we spend a lot of time studying together in the library. I live with a bunch of soccer players, and we spend most of our evenings just hanging out doing homework. So I think it's just because we kind of prioritize it, and so does Coach, understanding that sometimes class has to come first. And I think that's what makes a good soccer program, is that we're people before we're soccer players.
That's awesome. When I talk to student athletes like yourself in these interviews, that mention of kind of like the culture of your team, everyone studying together, the coaches prioritizing it, that seems to always be the recipe for success. So
yeah,
I'm glad to see that it holds true for you at Spring Arbor.
Yeah, absolutely.
So based on the website when I checked, and from you confirming before this interview, you're going to be attempting to come back for another year. Maybe a little bit of a setback, unfortunately. Kind of talk through what your future is right now.
Sure. So I, thank goodness, got gifted another season due to COVID. Obviously, everybody did eligibility-wise. So I kind of altered all of my life plans to stay at Spring Arbor for a 5th semester and just take some grad classes. But after I had made those decisions, I actually tore my ACL in practice. My meniscus is good and my MCL is good. So most of the knee's all right. But obviously the ACL is a little important. So ever since around May, I've been working really hard in rehab to try to get my knee strong, my quad strong, my hamstring strong, in hopes that maybe in 1 month I'll be able to play. And I actually had my first goalkeeping training yesterday and it went really well. So I'm really stoked for the fall. But really, to be honest, if I don't step on the field at all, I know it'll have been worth it to come back and just, be a part of something as great as what we have at Spring Arbor. The group is just so incredible, and we have so many girls coming back from last year. I just can't wait to see what we can accomplish this fall.
That's awesome. That's good to hear. That it sounds like maybe you're trying to run it back for another season as a team. So
yeah, absolutely.
Definitely people will be paying attention to what Spring Arbor does this coming fall. Samantha, thank you for taking the time today. Congratulations on this award. And I hope you have a great 4th of July since that's what's coming up.
Thank you so much. I hope you do too.